Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back. For today's video, I thought we'd take a look at the most recent TF2 update that just dropped, the Summer 2025 update. In this video, we're going to look at everything that was added and give a basic review on what I liked about the update, what my favorite things were, and especially we're going to dive a little deep into the new maps that were added. This update actually dropped the day that I was finishing up my last video, the prop hunt video. In case you're wondering why I didn't mention it in that video, I had made it before the update dropped. Now, I'm going to be honest, this year's summer update is pretty good. Really good selection of maps, really good selection of cosmetics, really cool stuff. Now for the cosmetics, I want to get through them pretty quickly because there are quite a lot of them and I don't want to go too in depth. I'm just going to name out my favorites. Personally, really happy that we got a really nice partition of cosmetics between all the classes. Everybody got something. We even got an all-class cosmetic, so that's really nice. My favorites from this set would definitely be, the medieval heavy with the Fat Friar and the Hunk of Monk. That's really funny. I'm pretty sure that's a reference to a comedian online who does these skits wearing a very similar getup. I could be wrong, but I think that's what that's referencing. That's pretty cool.
Shout out all my friars.
The Disco Elysium set for the heavy as well. I really like the suit cosmetic. The Engineer's medieval set with the Cattleman's Kettle and the Sir Builds a Lot. Really, really cool looking. I really love it. The Medic's Detective cosmetic set. I think it's a reference to Inspector Gadget. At least that's the vibe that it's giving me. Either way, it's really nice. Spy also got really cool military-esque set. I really love the detailing on that one. It's pretty nice. Like I said again, I'm not going to talk about all of them, but just know that I do like them all. I really don't think there's a bad one in the whole bunch. They're all very solid. They're all very fitting. I think no matter what you unbox from that crate, you're going to get something nice. So that's really, really cool to see. Next up, the taunts. This is where things get pretty interesting. First of all, the heavy got a really nice taunt called the bear hug. This is a taunt where heavy can basically hug any of the other classes. And honestly, this is definitely my favorite one of the update. It's instantly become one of my favorite taunts to use, especially when you're on blue team and you're waiting for the match to start. I really just like going as heavy and going around hugging my whole team before the round starts. We got 2 all-class taunts. Man, has anybody else noticed? But recently Valve is really going crazy for these all-class taunts. I feel like every update we get at least 1 or 2. This time we got the final score, which is just a pretty simple taunt where every class draws a little 0 on a piece of paper and holds it up. I guess this is meant to be something you show on a kill cam. Very simple, but it's okay. Next all-class taunt we got was Flying Colors. This is a taunt where each class sets a flag down and does a little aura farming type pose to just flex on the enemy, I guess. Really fun to use this one at the very end of a match when you successfully capture all the points on a control point map or when you win a King of the Hill game. It's really nice. And most interestingly of all, somewhat of a divisive topic, the Texan Trickshot. Now, this is the first paid taunt that actually kills enemies. It's also, I believe, the first taunt kill to not be associated with a weapon, meaning you can use it with any loadout. Got a pretty long range, and people have been wondering if this is a pay-to-win thing. Personally, I don't think so. It takes a really long time to initiate the taunt kill and leaves you wide open. You can't cancel it for those reasons. I don't really feel like this is pay-to-win. Honestly, getting taunt kills is not that easy. In TF2, maybe on like newbie players who don't really understand what's going on, but yeah, I don't see this one being a pay to win. I don't see it as a problem. It did get nerfed and then very quickly unnerfed. It's kind of interesting because it's like the first thing Valve has added in a very long time that is new and does damage. Some people have been saying it's almost like a new weapon. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I really like this. Perfectly fits the Engineer. Really fun to use. I've already seen some people in lobbies trying it out and trying to get kills with it, and haven't seen anybody successfully pull it off. So continuing with that whole pay-to-win thing, I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, and I think people need to chill out a little bit. Now, unusual effects, I'm not really going to touch on them very much, just because these are always kind of a little bit all over the place. They don't really follow any particular type of rule. They're also not things that you can just easily buy or obtain, so it's more something for the traders to discuss and figure out which ones are good or not. But if you have a favorite one, do let me know. Now for my favorite part, the maps. Wow, the maps this update were actually pretty good. I would say I pretty much like all of them. Even got a few favorites in here. To start off, Payload Aquarius. This one was at the top of my wish list, just because it's so beautiful. I mean, it takes place in an underwater base. You get to actually swim in the water and see all the pretty coral and the fauna, and the underwater combat is really interesting with the speed boost, and also you can't drown, or at least if you can drown, it takes way longer than usual because I never experienced it. The whole concept of pushing the payload cart underwater was really interesting and created some really interesting scenarios. Pyro Shark is obviously a little bit powerful on this map, but I mean, you have Pyro Sharks on both teams, so I'd say it kind of evens out. And of course, the finale with the Megalodon popping up, really cool. You can see other sharks swimming around outside, and it's all very beautiful, very pretty. I love this one. King of the Hill Blowout. This one, you know, to be honest, I wasn't crazy about this one. Now, I've played on this one a little bit. It was fun. The map is definitely very well detailed, very pretty, but I don't know, there was just something about it. It didn't really pull on my strings, I guess. It's not a bad map by any means. It just doesn't really stand out to me, I guess. King of the Hill Boardwalk. Man, this one broke my heart a little bit. Now, for those who don't know, Boardwalk is a daytime version of the Halloween map Laughter, which in and of itself is a Halloween version of the map Slaughter. Now, Slaughter is one of my favorite community maps and has been for many years now. I've always, every summer update, I've been wishing for that map to get added in, and I guess now it never will. Unless they add freeze tag, then I guess it has a shot. This map is great either way. The whole circus theme is really unique, obviously, and I guess it is nice to have a daytime version of that map without all the crazy Halloween stuff everywhere, even if it's not the original. Attack Defend Cargo. Man, this one, you know, when I first saw it on the Steam Workshop, I wasn't that crazy about it, but once I really got to see it in gameplay, wow, I fell in love with this one instantly. It's not a perfect map, but I'm a sucker for visuals, which means if a map is pretty, I'm gonna fall for it, even if it's not a great map to play on. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not saying Cargo is a bad map to play on. I will say the first point is really easy to capture. It's basically free. It's impossible to defend. At least every match I played on it, we could not defend the point, and every time I was on blue team, it was an instant cap. So maybe there's some more balanced things to be done with that first point, but the second point was fairly good. It was pretty even on both sides on defense and offense, so I would say the second point was really good. And of course, the map takes place on a giant boat out in the ocean. It kind of reminds me of that really old community map Convoy, how you can sort of see that the map looks like it's moving but isn't really. It's just the water that's moving to give the illusion. Looking at this map from an aerial view is just, it's pretty. It's pretty. It's a big boat, and me like big boat. Okay, me like big boat. So Attack Defend Cargo, I love it. Payload Citadel, another one that was at the top of my list. I just love this map. It's so pretty and it's so big. A match on this map can last forever, but it's so fun because the map is continuously changing and surprising you. There's so many different routes you can take to flank. It's a ton of fun. Some people say this map is impossible to defend on, like it's free for blue. I've had a completely different experience. I've had really half wins on both sides in my experience. I played this map quite a bit during the testing phases of it over the past few months. You know, I have a bit more experience on it, and I can say it's a ton of fun, doesn't get old. But yeah, this map is solid. This is, I would even go as far to say I think this is one of the best maps in the game right now. Really love it. Attack Defend Conifer. This one is a very classic feeling map. It's very simple. It is a pretty map. It really does evoke that style of like early years, 2007, 2008 TF2. And for those people, this map is pretty good. It's pretty simple. I think it's nice. It's always nice to see a more old style map getting added, even in modern years, amongst all the other crazy stuff that gets in. So nice to see a map like this get in. King of the Hill Demolition. Now, I really love the concept of this map, but it is really small. The map feels incredibly cramped, like there's not really a lot of places you can go, not a lot of areas to fight in, not a lot of flanking. Now, the map does have this gimmick where different doors will open or close depending on if you own the point or not. That's really interesting, I think. The map is fun. It does offer some very unique gameplay, but I would say it might not be for everybody. If you're really into traditional style King of the Hill maps, you might not like this one. Attack Defend Fulgur. Now this is a good one. This is actually a pretty popular community map. I'm really surprised and happy to see this one get in. Not much to say about it. It's just a really good community map. King of the Hill Mannhole. Another top from the GOAT himself, UEAK Crash. This map is so beautiful, man. I mean, the people who work on these maps with UEAK and UEAK himself, I mean, they deserve some kind of like award for map design, because holy crap, this map is just gorgeous. I was so distracted by the visuals of this map that I could barely pay attention to the match. The theme is really unique. I love the underwater sewers with the little rats that scurry around when you get close to them. Not to mention that the map itself just plays incredibly well. This is a real solid one. And finally, we have Capture the Flag Pressure. Now, this is another really beautiful map from the Offshore collection. This one was actually featured in the trailer for Offshore, the animated trailer. So I'm pretty happy to see that it actually got in. This map does suffer from one major problem though, and that is that it's a Capture the Flag map. So all the matches last incredibly long and nobody feels like actually playing the objective, which is a real shame because it's a really unique map. It's really pretty. And unfortunately, because it's Capture the Flag, I don't see myself playing on it a whole lot, but maybe the casuals will enjoy this one a lot more. All in all, this was an incredibly solid update. Of course, there's some maps that I'm really sad to see didn't get in. Shout out to Oil Change, shout out to Blocked, Naphtha, Down Under, and just so many other great ones that I don't have enough time to mention. That's one of the sad parts of these updates, is that we get some really good stuff, but a lot of other really great stuff gets left out. But with all that said, congratulations to all the members of the community that got their items added into the game. It's a really great accomplishment every time. I'm a really big fan of the content we got this time. Everything is really solid. I personally wouldn't even say there's one thing in this update that I don't like. Everything is really good. All the maps play pretty well. So honestly, some really solid choices. I know some people were probably hoping that the Offshore project would be officially adopted, since we heard rumors last year that Tropic Crisis was actually being considered as an official community update. I myself too was hoping to see something like that, but personally don't think we're going to see much stuff like that in the future. No, I think Valve likes adding a variety of different maps, of different themes, and adding just one particular community style update as the summer update and leaving out all the other great things that we get from the community map makers. I don't think that's really up their alley right now. If they were going to do community style updates, I think that they would probably want it to be separate from the summer update. Nevertheless, we did get a lot of Offshore content, so I'm really happy about that. These community style updates, they definitely influence what gets into the game. Same thing happened last year with Tropic Crisis. We got a lot of Tropic Crisis content in the update, even though we didn't get the update itself. So hopefully we continue to see these projects pop up in future years. With all that said, tell me what your favorite part of this update was. Tell me what your favorite map was. I would love to hear it. And if I had to give this update like a score out of 10, I would probably give it like a 9.5. This is solid. That's all for today. See you next time.